Minimal APIs allow you to create a route with one line of code. You see, I'm used to controllers, but there is a lot of code to it. For example, you need to import this namespace. You need to specify that your controller has a namespace. Optionally, you can assign a route to your controller, but you need to specify that it's an API controller. From there, we can finally create our controller, but we need to inherit the controller base class. If we're injecting services through dependency injection, we can also create a constructor. And then finally, after that, we can start implementing our hello world response. We need to create a method to return that, but before that, we also have to specify that it's a HTTP GET and also the route path for it. But that's what I'm used to. However, I could no longer ignore the hype of minimal APIs, and I needed to see what they were all about. So I thought I'd start my minimal API adventure by outputting that hello world response that I showed you in the controllers, but we're going to do it with minimal APIs. So I'm in Program.cs, I've got the instance to the web application. All I need to do is call app.mapGet. I need to specify the route, which is hello-world. And then I can output the response as part of the second parameter. And it's that simple. It felt wrong. No controller, no boilerplate code, but I ran it and it worked. And because there was a map get method, I assumed there was a map post, a map put, and map delete. And I was right. Before we have a look at them, remember to subscribe to the channel and leave a like for the video. And let me know in the YouTube comments if you're using minimal APIs. I want to start with the map post. We're passing in the request body as part of this DTO. We're also passing in the I2Do service, which is being injected from dependency injection. This is registered up here as a singleton service. If we have a look in the I2Do service, it's got some methods for creating our items, getting the item, updating, and also deleting. So in here, we want to get our instance of the to-do service. We want to call create. We're passing our object body. And then we want to return a 204 no content response. So all we need to do is we need to call results.noContent, and that's done for us. We can do a similar thing with updating a record, so we're going to use the map put for that. We'll call the update method. We'll pass in the request body. We also need to pass in the ID as well. And then we return the no content response. And the same with delete. We call the map delete method. We change the to do service method that we're calling to delete, passing in the ID. That all seems so simple. I wanted to make sure that the endpoints were working properly. So we're going to test the map post first. So we need to pass in, as part of the request body, we need to pass in some text. And we expect that to return a 204 no content response, which it's done. So we know that one's working. Let's try the update now, so the one that uses the map put. For this, we need to specify an ID as part of the parameter. So we're going to specify 1 because the last item created with an ID of 1. And we can specify some text as part of the request body. Update this text. That once again is returning a 204 no content response. So that's 2 out of 3 done. We go to delete. We need to pass in the ID once again. We'll pass in as 1. And it's returned the same response. So all our minimal API endpoints are working. Download the code example to see how those minimal API routes work with the to-do service and try it out for yourself. That's great, I thought, a much simpler way of writing API endpoints, but could I combine multiple HTTP methods in the same route? And the answer is yes. We call app.map methods, we specify the route, so we call it hello-world/get-head. Not sure if that is the best name for it, but anyways. The next parameter, we need to specify which HTTP methods we want to use. So we do that in a string array. We want to get head. Again, probably not the best way of saying that. And then we return our response of hello world. Just like that. So my Open API documentation is showing an endpoint for each of those HTTP methods. Let's try each one and make sure that they work. So that one's returning a successful response. And with the head, that's also returning a successful response. Minimal APIs allow you to return a response in multiple ways depending on the complexity of your logic. So we've got the lambda expression, which I've shown you so far and what I'm personally used to. You can also do it with a local function and then return that function as part of the response. You can do it with a class instance, so we've created a new instance of this class, and inside that there's a method of print. We just simply return that as part of the response. And we can also do it with a static method as well. So we've got this class, and within that it's got a static method of print. We're returning that as part of the response. Things got crowded fast. At this point, my Program.cs file was starting to look quite messy. But there is a way you can tidy it up. I've created this static class. Within that, I'm going to create a static method, which I'm going to call map to do endpoints. Pass in an instance of the web application. And if I go back into Program.cs, what I can do now is I can remove all this code from here into the to-do endpoints. And then I can replace it with app.map to do endpoints. And we're going to see if that's going to run. Some good news, the Open API documentation has picked up our routes. We're just going to test a few of them. We'll try the post request. We just put in this is text. That's returning a successful response. And we'll just try the update just to make sure. So we'll pass in the ID of 1. This is an update. Yeah, that's definitely working. I also found a way as to how you can organize your routes further. Using groups, you can bundle routes together that share a common path. Back to our static method, we can create a new group. So to do that, we call the app.map group. And we need to specify a parent route for it. We'll specify that as /to-do. Then we need to alter all references to app to the to-do group. So we do it for each of our routes. Then because we've already got a parent route there, we don't need it as part of the route for each individual endpoint. So we'll remove that. And because we've got this parent route, this should still route to to-do/ID. But we're going to try that out and just make sure it shows up in our documentation. Yep, the routes are still there. We're going to test one of them out. So we'll try the post request, just put some text in, put in hello world. And yep, that's returning a successful response. Therefore, our routes have been successfully migrated to groups. I started off doubtful. Minimal APIs look too simple. But the more I got into it, the more I saw the benefits of it. And I discovered even more with minimal APIs, which you can see by watching this video next. To download the code example for this tutorial, go to roundthecode.com/examples. There's also a link for it in the YouTube video description. Leave any comments that you have about minimal APIs, and I'll see you on the next video.